Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hold certifications in trauma informed coaching and breathwork facilitation, which I am really proud of. I paid for them myself by downsizing my home. And that to me is the biggest commitment that I have made financially, anyway, to this coaching thing. My usual clients have been, in the main, mature females, often business owners or career women who have been the central engine, the linchpin, the critical element that holds their business and their family lives together. They have worried for years about their people pleasing behavior, about the onset of burnout, and now they fear it. Burnout, that is. They're beginning to realize that the high standards they have set for themselves, especially at work, in business, have swamped their personal lives. Several of them come to me and say they don't know who they are anymore. What started as people pleasing for them and me has become perfectionism. And those standards that they hold themselves to are so much higher than they expect of anyone else. I was that people pleaser, that perfectionist back in the late 90s and early 2000s in corporate Britain. The people I worked with were my family. Yeah. So much more important to me than friends, really. Um, and that's another side story. They came to both of my weddings. They supported me through the breakdown of my first marriage and the sudden death of my second husband. Then they all vanished when I fell into the deepest, darkest depression and breakdown after the death of my second husband. That to me was when every system, not just mental systems, but physical, somatic systems, burnt out completely. Everything I had in me or had in me was burnt to the ground. I barely existed for 3 years. My bounce back from burnout started with stopping smoking. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second because I want you to understand this is really important. Yeah. I didn't quit smoking or give up. Yeah. Because those two phrases in me mean that I was quitting something that I didn't want to quit, something that was enjoyable, but it wasn't enjoyable. Um, and it wasn't doing me any good either. So I stopped. If you want to know how, ask me. Then, after stopping smoking, came tackling the eating disorder that had had no breaks at all during that breakdown. I learned so much about my body and my brain. And working with that coach was the first time I'd worked with a coach. It was literally invigorating, inspiring. And after that year of working with her on my life, um, the coach I was working with offered me a job. Yeah, exactly. I was guiding and mentoring other women dealing with and coming to terms with disordered eating patterns, unhelpful habits, and coping mechanisms. And that was literally fabulous. Yeah. Watching them grow into who they were meant to be before years and years and generations of conditioning and advertising had turned them into what they had become. I started to research coaching certifications. and talked to well over, though I can't find my numbers, I know it was well over 200 women who had dealt with disordered eating, depression, anxiety, stress, and shame. Yeah. I went through lots of Facebook groups asking people if they would be willing to talk to me about this. And I was kind of surprised, but kind of not, that 93% of them, yeah, identified themselves as people pleasers. So that's where I started reading, studying, and creating a trauma informed program, with a beginning and an end and a flow to it, specifically for people pleasers. Fast forward to now. There's been a whole bunch of changes, right? Quickly, the program is no longer a program; it's a system. The way I teach it is not like a beginning and an end with a module 1, module 2, module 3. Yeah, all of that thinking has gone. Now we work together to decide what you do first and what you do second and what you do third. It's also now punctuated with some breathwork sessions, which you can use as many times as you like to help you in various stages of the learning and of your life afterwards. And in addition to the 9 core elements that made up the whole of the program when it was first put together, a couple have been dropped, a couple have been reinvented, many have been recreated. It's now a weekly membership community, which you can join at several levels. But anyway, this video is not about that. This is about me and why I do this. So fast forward to now, and there are a few things that I want to leave you with, right? I know now that I was never broken, yeah, and nor are you. I am now sure, with a 100% conviction, that resilience is a muscle that needs training. Yeah? I am calm in the knowledge that my mission, path, purpose, whatever the beep you want to call it, yeah, doesn't matter to me, is a concept that I have created to bring me hope. Hope is so, so valuable. So valuable. Knowing that there is hope is golden. I am also completely clear that my life is completely my responsibility. And finally, I choose. Yeah, I have the choice to express myself with purple, blue, red hair, depending on my mood. Yeah, stripes, block colors, flowers, whatever I want to wear, I wear. Because in addition to coaching, I look after not myself, but my self, capital S. I look after who I am. I also look after my mum and Buddy, the rescue dog. Surprised he hasn't woofed yet. I am somewhat physically disabled. My hobbies include jigsaw puzzles, counted cross stitch, and yarn work of various forms. I have in the past knitted loads. Trying to teach myself how to crochet. It's harder than you think, but weirdly, when you find the right tutorials, yeah, it's easier than you think. So if you want to know more about me, by all means, just comment wherever you are watching this video. If you want to join my mailing list, look around this video for either a description or a comment section where you will find a link to sign up to the Integrated Women mailing list. Now, the last thing I want to offer on this call is something that I offer all the time, right? This is near enough always available. And I call it a coffee call. Um, and yeah, coffee calls, coffee chats are free. But if you'd like to buy me a coffee before or after, that would be great. Coffee is another form of joy, which, last story, this is the last one, I promise. I have tried many times in the name of health to give up coffee, and decided that coffee is a joy that I want to keep in my life. So, as I leave you today, yeah, join the mailing list, like, follow, subscribe, wherever you get the opportunity to help me get this message out there. I hope you've enjoyed finding out, either again or for the first time, who I am and why I do this. And I look forward to seeing you over coffee sometime soon. Bye for now.